right there, I am Alvin Bruce Sawyer, and I am the Moonshine King of northeastern North Carolina. I know y'all probably been hearing a whole lot here about Prohibition. Well, I want to tell you right up front, Prohibition didn't have that much impact on me one way or the other. See, I was only 2 years old when it became law, and just 14 when they reversed it. Besides that, I've never been much of a drinker even when I became of age. But I did learn a whole lot from the grown-ups back in that time. I found out that grown-ups would go way out of their way to get you some alcohol. Whether they were buying from the rum runners up through Canada, store-bought stuff, or they were sitting right here making their own bathtub gin and homemade beer and wine. Oh yeah, moonshine. Prohibition is the best thing ever happened in the moonshine business. Good God, it went from a few hundred moonshiners to thousands of moonshiners when that came about. Now, yeah, because the farmers found out they could get a whole lot more for a gallon of corn than they could for a bushel of corn. Now, even though Prohibition pretty much passed me on by, I grew up right smack dab in the middle of the Depression. And that was tough times. That's when if you were lucky to have a job, you didn't get paid by the hour, you got paid by the day. And sometimes those days were 8, 10, 12 hours long. And you got $1 a day. That was it. Well, I tried that for a while. I worked at a sawmill and got my $1 a day and found out I didn't like it all that much. Then I ran into a Mr. Jackie Coates. At the time, Mr. Jackie was one of the biggest moonshiners around here, and he took me under his wing and taught me the art of making moonshine. And I learned to love it. Also learned to love one of his daughters. Matter of fact, she became my first wife. I guess you can say I married into the moonshine business. Well, Mr. Jackie started me out on grunt work. Now, folks, anybody tell you that a moonshiner is a lazy, good-for-nothing ne'er-do-well don't have a clue what they're talking about. Moonshine is tough work. You got to make your steel, then you got to find a place for it off the beaten path somewhere. A lot of times that's out in the woods or a swamp, maybe a mile back. You got to tote your steel down there and set it up. Then you got to take your supplies down there on a regular basis. Now, the biggest supply you got to take down there, the biggest bulk item is sugar. It takes a lot of sugar to make whiskey. And that's how a lot of people got caught. That lawmen would go around to the general stores and find out somebody's buying too much sugar, and they start watching them, and they got busted. Well, you get all your ingredients down there at the steel site. Now you got to mash in. Mash in, then you're putting all your concoction in there, your sugar, your yeast, and your secret ingredient. You let it ferment. Now that's what you cook to make your liquor. And you cook it under a pressure kettle. Now, I know some of y'all have heard about your grandma and your great-grandma, maybe, the pressure cooker blowing up and hurting and scalding people. This is the same thing, except a whole lot bigger. And you make your raw alcohol over an open flame. I mean, what could be the problem there? Then if you run yourself off a good batch, now you got to bottle it and haul it out of there. There's 10 pounds of jug going out of there. And to top it all off, you could get arrested and sent to jail. Like the time when I was watching one of Mr. Jackie's steels over there at East Lake, south side of Albemarle. We had this steel back in the woods, right next to a pasture, and it had a county road going by it. While I'm watching the steel, I ain't paying any attention to the mash barrel. And this old mule come over there and got in that mash. He didn't care how much it stunk. He got him a belly full of that fermented mash. The next thing I know, he's out there in the middle of the pasture, hee-hawing and jumping straight up in the air, coming down. He stagger around, jump up in the air again. Deputy sheriff came by. He sat there and stopped his car and studied that mule for a while. And he went over there and examined that mule a little closer. He said, "This mule's drunk as skunk." So he just waited for the mule, wanted him a hankering for another taste, and he led him right straight to the steel. I got turned in by a darn drunk mule. Well, not long after the war came along, now folks, I'm a proud American. I love my country. I did not wait to get drafted. I went to join the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Hoorah! Yes. And I was very Guadalcanal when we took that over. Saw a lot of my friends get shot and wounded. I took the round there in my wrist, and Navy corpsman patched me up pretty good. I mean, I still took a jug of liquor. Well, the war come to an end. I got me a job at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. And they taught me how to be a welder. I was good at that, too. I liked that. Didn't like to drive back and forth to Virginia all that much, so I got my own shop there beside my house, started my own business. I welded for the local farmers and some of the loggers. And every now and then I'd make me a steel. But I made my steel out of good, clean stuff. I mean, some of my competitors was running their stuff through car parts. I mean, they were killing people out there. There's a lawman running around. Y'all probably run into him sometime this weekend named Bennie Halstead. He tore up a lot of my steels. I'm going to tell you, he tore up some good steels I built. Matter of fact, first steel Bennie tore up when he came to Pasco County was one of mine. But hey, he was just doing his job. I was just doing mine. We're just on opposite sides of the same law. I didn't have any hard feelings for him. Except this one time. He made me so mad I wanted to choke him. I went out and I bought me this real nice wristwatch. Oh, I was so proud of that wristwatch. It was pretty. It kept good time. And I told y'all how much, man, it stinks. But I had this steel out there close to the house, walking distance anyway. I had me a rain barrel there, and I got cleaned up before I go home at night. I shut the steel down for the day, and I put my clothes over to one side, put my shoes up, and I took that watch off, and I put it up on the tree limb. I jumped in there and taken me a bath. About halfway through my bath, I heard somebody coming. I ain't turned around a bit. I jumped out of that barrel, took off, grabbed my clothes, run through the swamp naked as a jaybird. I got far enough out, I figured they would quit chasing me and everything. I put my clothes on and eased on back around to the house, and I foxed them that night. A couple of days later, I went back to the steel house, and sure enough, they tore my steel all to pieces. My watch was gone. Boy, I was broken hearted. About a week later, I'm over here at a restaurant in Elizabeth City. I'm sitting back, and here comes Bennie Halstead and his boys, as he called them. That was his deputies. Hey, Alvin, how you doing? Doing good, Mr. Bennie. Hope you are. Yeah, hey, Alvin. And he pushed back his coat sleeve and said, what do you think about this new watch I got? I said, Mr. Bennie, that looks like a mighty fine watch you got there. I bet it keeps good time, too. Don't believe I've ever seen one quite that nice. The whole time I'm thinking, you sorry rascal that stole my watch. Ain't a darn thing I can do about it. Well, Bennie and his boys, they sent me up the road so many times, I don't remember, but the longest stretch I ever pulled was 4 years down in Tallahassee, Florida. Well, I want no entertainment down there. I want no television. I hear they got this big time in prison. You had to do some reading. You want to entertain yourself. Of all things, I started reading a good book. I read a bunch of it. And you know what I found out? Nowhere in here does it say it's a sin to make alcohol. Now, they say it's a sin to drink too much, drunk. But it ain't no sin to make it. So I figured I won't breaking God's law when I was making my liquor. I'll breaking man's law. I just won't pay the taxes that he got. So I became a born-again Christian while I was in prison. I guess you could say I found Jesus in the joint. Now, I always considered myself a good, honest man, hard-working man, just making a dishonest living. Never hurt nobody. I never took a penny from a soul. I never pulled a gun on somebody and said, here, you buy what I'm selling. People come to me, knocking on my door, money in hand, wanting what I had. Well, when I got out of jail, I started going around the church and testifying. White church, black church, didn't make me no different. They wanted to listen, I wanted to talk. Well, I was a member of Breer Baptist Church, but I never was a sworn-in deacon up there. But I did all the things that a deacon should be doing. I mean, I went around and visited the sick and shut in and gave them some money if they needed it, if I had it. I even taught a Sunday school class, a bunch of young boys, 10, 11, 12 years old. Had this one little boy in there, he was cute as a butt. Dickie Sanders. He was in there, oh God, he was the cutest little thing. One bigger than a bar of soap been washed on a week, that like that. A little bit of a smart aleck. Anyway, I promised them that we were going to I was going to have them a cookout that Friday night. You get your mom and dad to stop you off after school, and we'll have a cookout, eat hamburgers. Oh, they were so excited. Wouldn't you know it, Thursday night, the day before the cookout, I got busted again. Dick and them boys never did get that cookout. I wonder what he's doing now. Anyway, I got so well known in the court system, everybody knew me. I mean, the judges knew me, the lawyers knew me, all the lawmen knew me. I mean, everybody. And you know what? All that liquor they confiscated of mine, they didn't pour all that down the drain. They drank a lot of my liquor. I know they did. They knew I made good stuff. One man even sent a batch off to Raleigh. Had it tested, come back and said, it is lead-free, 86 proof, all in all, it's pretty good liquor. Good as, it's not better than any store-bought. Folks, it don't get much better than being endorsed by the U.S. government. Well, I forgot what courtroom I was in. It might have been this one. That I've been in so many of them. The judge said, Alvin, you're getting up there in age right now. Look, under oath, do you promise me that you're not going to make any more whiskey? I said, Your Honor, my hands are the man. I promise I won't make any more whiskey. So he passed sentence on me. He kind of gave me a break. I sat down in my chair and leaned over to my lawyer. So I didn't promise I might make any less either. Well, not only was I well known here in the courtroom, I was well known up and down the street. I mean, I was a celebrity around here. I mean, people stopped me on the street, want to take my picture and get my autograph. Had so many newspaper articles written about the Virginia Pilot and Daily Advance that CNN News heard about me. They want to do an article on me, thinking about it. I said, well, yeah, okay. Well, we need a working steel. I said, no, look, they done got me too many times. I'm too old for that mess. Well, this will be a determining factor of whether we come. And okay, I'll get you one. So come on. So I made them a steel, and I ran off about 7 gallons while they were taping this thing and retaping it and all. They left, and if I had good sense, I would have tore the thing down. But apparently I don't have good sense, so I kept running. I'd run off 85 more gallons before somebody turned me in again. Well, you never know where life's going to lead you. I got a little old and tired, and body started breaking down a little bit. I had a couple of strokes. And I ended up out at Winslow's nursing home. And wouldn't you know it, Bennie Halstead was already there. Oh, we had some time to be talking about the old days, the good and the bad. He'd tell me about how he'd be waiting on the steel site for me to show back up. He'd feed mosquitoes and ticks and bugs. I said, yeah, I was home eating on this estate watching Gunsmoke on television. That night. Well, strange but true thing, Bennie Halstead died on my 80th birthday out there at Winslow's nursing home. I don't know which way Benny was going when he died, but I know when I die which way I'm going. God's already got me a spot up there in heaven. I just hope he lets me keep on making my whiskey, because he knows I love him. Like I said, his boy makes some fine wine. Now, folks, that's about all I got to say to you, except be kind to one another, especially young'uns and old folks, and don't drink and drive. Good evening.